to help you once again. So we are going through different types of problems selected by the previous students. The first one is that decentralized temperature control of a central air conditioning system. So here the problem is that there is no way to adjust the air temperature in the office room to meet individual requests. Why? Because there is only one thermostat available. So this is a practical problem. Mainly because the building owners, they install systems which are low cost. So that's why they just come out with one thermostat. So the student proposes evaluating the different types of configurations of air conditioning systems in practice. So different offices will have different types of system configurations. So the student would like to analyze those different systems and identify the advantages, disadvantages of these systems and come out with what are the best specifications available. The main objectives of the project is to review the problem of existing constant volume flow rate systems. Now to design an air distribution system with independent temperature control in the office where there are many cubicles. So that means there is planning to redesign the entire system, the flow rate system, so that each cubicle can have their own temperature control systems. So verify the cooling capacity required in duct sizing. So it also involves sizing the ducts and evaluate and select and install the most cost-effective system. So this is a project work. The objectives are to completely solve this problem. So part A and part B. So this is something like you are doing over 1 year. First, formulating the project proposal. Okay. This is not project proposal. So this is only the problem and the objectives. Okay. So this is first part of your assignment. So when you complete in the next 1 week, I would like to receive something like this from all of you related to your own problems. Okay. So the next one is the optimizing the maintenance, scheduling, or servicing of this particular aircraft. Okay. So generally, the student writes that maintenance servicing takes complete servicing takes the maximum longest 50 to 85 days or longer. Now here, to improve the scheduling of the aircraft, the lead time and cycle time can be reduced. So there are different types of operations involved in the maintenance, okay, and repair and overhaul. So if you properly reduce, ultimately the objective is to reduce the duration. Okay, come on with such a scheduling technique so that you can. Okay, so the current project looks at the improvement of aircraft servicing schedule and cost savings by so-called ST services. The project discusses operational management issues, optimizing processes, and engineering cost analysis, which will be beneficial to the company. Okay, so the objectives is which is not very good, to help the company save costs by reducing lead and cycle times as well as eliminating wastage of resources. So this is not a quantifiable objective. Okay. So why it is not a quantifiable? Save cost. So saving $1 or $10, you need to quantify. So you need to save, let us say, 2% of the total cost which is used for the. So that's why the objective is not well defined. So if you want to validate your objective at the end of your study, so this is not a quantifiable objective. So it is not considered as a clear objective, rather a vague objective. So most of the literatures on optimizing maintenance services are viewed from airline operator's perspective. The current project aims to optimize maintenance service from the maintenance overhaul company's point. So even this is not a clear objective. So this is a vague objective. So to gain better understanding of aerospace engineering and management process using total qualitative quality management analysis. This is not at all an objective. Okay, all of you should know that you are doing the project work, okay, not to understand, not to learn. When you are picking up this subject means project work means you are going to solve the problem. Okay, you are going to apply the tools and techniques in solving the problem. So not to understand. So for example, some of the students, they say, okay, I want to do this model, I want to build this aircraft wing, and I want to do a finite element analysis. But I don't have enough knowledge on finite element analysis. I want to learn this and I want to do this. Learning is not part of your project work. When you are undertaking the project work, so that means that you have the background knowledge. So you are not learning a software tool and again using that tool, okay, to study the problem. So learning is not part of the objectives. Okay, so learning, it can be a mode of your. So if you want to do more effectively, probably you want to spend a bit more time in understanding a problem, but that cannot be your objective. So that is part of the methodology. Okay, so what I want to impress upon you is that so all the 4 objectives listed are not properly formulated. So none of the objective is quantifiable, and in fact objectives are vague. The only thing is the problem is okay, because the problem is related to reducing the overall MRO time by planning effective rescheduling. Okay, so that you make sure that the aircraft is spent minimum time at the place rather than wasting your scheduling time. Alright, so this is another type of problem. So next is something like this, improving the efficiency of a compressor. So here is to investigate ways to increase the efficiency of a piston by reciprocating compressor. So here this is a bit of investigative and research-based project work. So improve lifespan. So you need to define improve lifespan from 2 years to 3 years or what. So just writing improve lifespan is meaningless. Engineering terms. Okay. Improve cooling system. The cylinder head. Okay. Air compressor, especially the cylinder head and piston, can heat up easily up to 120 degrees Celsius. So improve cooling system you need to define. So by reducing, let us say, from the current 5 degrees by 5 degrees Celsius. So you need to quantify how much temperature you want to decrease. Okay, so reduce oil consumption. So no quantify. So reduce means again a vague objective. So improve. Okay, so the student lists various things, but this is mostly a review-based topic. So where the compressor efficiency is going to be investigated with various parameters. Okay, so the student says the objectives for this: consult engineers on ways of improving current performance of compressors, then conduct a survey on what customers require for usage of compressed air, then test and record performance. So this is a bit of methodology, how you are going to achieve the efficiency of a compressor, increase the efficiency of a compressor. So identifying the various steps or the problem of the efficiency of a compressor was subdivided into different modules. Okay, so another system elevators, a study on alternative or improved designs for conduits. So this is another problem suggested by students. So a bit of background here. So, so for example, the first paragraph is something which is not directly relevant to the problem. Okay. So mainly the objectives and aim of this project is to improve the existing elevator system of transporting passengers through means of exploring different ideas and innovations with the main focus of developing a more efficient way of vertical transportation. So here coming out with a new alternative design of vertical transportation in a lift. So this is the advantage of this system is having a more energy efficient elevators. So here the basic research will be looking into the improvement of the elevator counterweight systems. The main methodology will be exploring different ideas, redesigning the counterweight systems. That means looking into the various current lift systems. What are the various lift system advantages, disadvantages, specifications, all those analysis. After that, okay, so this is basically identifying different types of systems. Okay, conducting a risk analysis. So this is what is required for you when you write your proposal. Okay, fine. When you come out with a proposal, so all proposals should have a risk analysis. So we need to identify what alternate plans are planned. Okay, what are the alternative things that are planned? So retrenchment transfer from existing business unit. So in such a case, this will be a major risk factor. So make sure that at least you have 1 year at least job guarantee in the existing company. Okay, lack of funding and available resources. There are two types of risks. So risk in completing the project work and risk involved in undertaking the project work. So if the project work involves some amount of testing and the testing is hazardous, so that is the risk you need to identify. Okay. Okay, the objectives listed here, again when you write your objectives, so there is no need for you to write elaborately explaining your objectives. So your objectives can be in simple point form, okay, 1 or 2 lines. So here, development of an environmentally inclined design mindset. So this cannot be an objective. It's a vague thing, Okay. Literature review is not an objective because literature review is part of the process of methodology. Okay. So literature review is a method, part of your methodology to achieve the objectives. But literature review cannot be an objective. So challenging current practices and design. So this is where some amount of analysis is incorporated. But again, okay, the student does not quantify what type of design specifications plan to achieve. So what are the improvements, in terms of specifications, in terms of efficiency, in terms of load bearing capacity or load lifting capacity, all those things were not defined. So we can say that the objectives are vague. Okay. Another objective, intellectual property rights of design. So this cannot be an objective. So implementation of design is again a methodology rather than an objective. Okay, so the previous objective is mainly that was an excellent project work in spite of the not so very well written proposal. Okay, and ultimately the student came out with a new elevated design system, which was very much appreciated, and of course, it was high distinction product work. But the initial objectives, the way the objectives written were not proper. Okay. Now let us look another topic here. So this topic is design of a conveyor system for the improvement of boxes filled with sachets and water cleaning powder. So this was done by one of the students. Again, as you see the title, it is a workplace. Okay, practically work-based topic. So what is the background or motivation for the project? There is no automation, so automation in the production line, introduction of new robots, so incompatibility of the current conveyor system. So it is something like upgrading the existing system to a new robotic automation system. Okay, so a bit of analysis on the current background. So for time taken for each task identified. So here, by doing such an analysis, so you're quantifying the different time taken for different tasks, and you can define your objectives more effectively. So for example, case palletizing 21% and sachet folding and tearing is 28%, case forming 31%, okay, other things, case packing. So the 100% is identified. Okay, so you can see here the objectives are focused. Okay, so the objective is to reduce effort loss in palletizing by 21%. So this is the target that is planned to achieve by coming out with a new conveyor system. So design a gravity conveyor to transfer cases from top case sealing machine to an electrical conveyor. So this is designing a system, gravity conveyor system. So to achieve, to reduce the loss by 21% and also design an electrical conveyor to transfer cases from gravity conveyor to robot's case pickup area. So there are different tasks identified. So the objectives are clearly defined. Okay, so this is another topic. So this is upgrade of metrology tool from manual measurement to auto measurement. So this is where the student is working on a machine. So only on a machine. So he wanted to use the data which, okay, normally taken manually. So, but getting auto measurements. So this is the existing measurement system at the company. So to redesign the existing measurement tool. So by doing redesigning, so you have the following advantages. So it is the quality data, increase productivity, minimize measurement errors. Okay, so why? This is a bit of background analysis. So this is basically a control chart. So you can see there are many points which are going above the upper limit. So when you are collecting data manually. So this is operator's error in the collection of data. So now he would like to, this is the motive for going for an auto measurement. Okay, so this is a bit of background analysis of the problem. Why? Okay, so the same thing is shown in a different way here. So there are some points which are going. So you can see. Okay, so there is no consistency in the process. So different ways. Okay, it was explained why there is a requirement for automation. So it varies from person to person. So this is the data collected by different operators. So you can see there is no consistency. Now, this is all background analysis, why there is a need for auto measurement. So you are going to support by showing all this data, evidences. Okay, so what type of methodology? So defining the problem, then collecting the survey. Here the customers means the operators who are using the machine. Okay. So customers refers to the people who are involved with the process. So you are going to get the feedback. So because there are different operators dealing with the machine, so collect data from all of them. So come up with a questionnaire, ask them various things. Okay, then getting a feedback. The feedback should be documented. So it must be clearly with the help of a questionnaire. Then after that, come out with a conceptual design, how you can automate the design, so how you can remove the manual measurements to auto measurements. So do literature review, study different techniques available in literature, so how such a auto measurement is being done. Okay. Then analyze the system and come out with a concept. Then try to implement. Alright, so this is what I expect from you will be something like this. So come out with project title. Okay, you need to come with a title that conveys the entire meaning. Okay, so that means that by going through the title of your project, we should get some idea. So what is that you're planning? Okay. So you can say upgrading the metrology tool from manual measurement to automation. So then give some background analysis. Why you want to take up this project. So you can have your own reasons, try to state the reasons. Then if there is any supporting data available, so you can also present your data. Then what methodology you want to use. Okay, so what are the different ways you can study the problem. All right. Okay, I'll pause here for a while. Any questions so far? I'm pretty sure from my previous discussion with all of you that you have real practical problems, and definitely you can come up with good problems. Only thing is, have confidence in yourself, be passionate, okay, spend time, and if you spend time, definitely that is the only what we say mantra or whatever it is for success. Okay, so if you spend more time, you can create a very good proposal. So the only factor is spending more time.
So can you move the submission?
Second?
Can you move the submission from Monday to like maybe Wednesday?
No, you see the submission is to me just to, because Canvas deadlines are already.
Okay.
You have a lot of time, I think, right? When is the submission for the first
1 month.
assignment? Huh? So you have a lot of time.
Yeah, but for this, the one for the Monday, are we able to like just submit it a few days later?
No, the Monday one, if you send, I reply.
Okay.
If you don't send, also okay, you can directly upload before the deadlines. Yeah. So tentatively, I'm saying because if you send by, let us say next week, if not Monday. Okay. Why I said Monday is just to activate you from the day one.
Okay. Thanks.
All right.
All right.
Yeah. So because planning is vital in engineering, right? So you have many planners.
All right. Thanks.
Right. Okay, this is another topic, design and development of a tool to reduce unbalance on the high pressure stub shaft assembly. So you can see by going through the title that this is a totally workplace topic, and the student must have a lot of experience on this. Okay, so when you come, some of you come your topics, it will sound so unique and so special to you. That means your workplace. If not, you need to plan that your topics are so special. It takes time, but you can do it. Not a problem. Okay. So the project background is explained with the help of a lot of figures. Okay, so he is going to explain the entire problem, why he wants to do, how he wants to do, with the help of this flowchart. Okay, I want to impress upon you again that all these slides are not your proposal. So not the first assignment solution. So this is only formulating your problem. Okay, so later part actually you can rewrite this in the form of the first assignment. Okay, so this is for you to formulate your ideas and formulate your own framework. So you can see here NDT, inspection, repair, scrap, clearing, cleaning. So you know the meaning of all those terms, right? Okay. So the build process is shown here again with the help of things. So I'll not go through this because it is not required. So the problem statement here. So what is the main problem? So you can see exceeding the vibration advisory limit. So engine written to shop for rectification and unnecessary cost target affected. So everything written in simple point format. Okay. So that means a lot of problems are identified. So then the process time is 30% unable to meet target time. So high initial imbalance, additional time spent on troubleshooting. So schedule delayed, high production costs. Okay, so here 30% failure rate on final assembly. So all these things are problems related to the unbalance. So what are the main objectives? So the main objective is to improve the build process time to reduce failure rate from 30% to 10%. So these are the very clear-cut objectives. So focused, mature, and straight means the student knows what he is planning to do. Okay, reduction in balancing process time by 10%. How he is going to do this? By suitably designing a jig or a fixture for the process. So it involves some amount of design. So to minimize vibration of the HP spool on engine test pass out by 10%. So every objective is a quantifiable objective. So when you plan, you need to plan something like this.
So, but to be fair, the percentage also we wouldn't know. So just rough guide or rough idea is fine.
At
Right?
this point, I am answering from time and again because this is an academic project work.
Yeah.
So you are not going to because any small design things nowadays it requires team efforts
Yeah.
and a lot of collaboration from different groups. But what is required is it is an undergraduate student engineering project work. we are not going to ask why 30% to 10%. No, that is the objective. Whether you achieve, don't achieve, it's not important.
So
So
either
we
way-
don't ask what is the proof that the current process has a 30% failure.
So either way, it's just our objectives for now. Phrase it something like this.
At the same time, so you cannot come out with totally fictitious figures. So the figures which you have taken should be realistic and should be based on your experience. It should be based on your company regards. So you need to just follow those things. Okay, so what type of methodology is going to apply? So ask whom? So people, students, they use their own creative way of representing. So this is basically ask means you're conducting a survey. So you are designing a questionnaire. So you can do data collection. So asking is something like collecting the data. Okay, identify the need and constraints. So how you can do? By conducting a survey. How? By designing a questionnaire. With whom? The customers, people who are using this, the operators, most of the time the operators. Okay, do research. So this is a very important part of your project work. So whatever the topic which you have chosen, which you are going to take, okay, you need to demonstrate, guys, I hope you are listening, you need to demonstrate the current state of knowledge related to the topic. How do you know the current state of knowledge? So you can know the current state of knowledge by going through the literature available online, so library resources, through published journals, journal articles, through technical reports. Another very important thing, what is that? So it starts with P. The word starts with P. Not general articles, but no. Normally engineers and scientific people, they use a lot of time this P word. Patents. So you know patent search, online patent search. So patents. You need to do the patent search. So as an engineer, you need to get used to do how you can do the patent search relevant to your topic. So you need to identify the keywords related to your topic, then use those keywords in different search engines. Okay, Almighty Online Library has search engine, so use that. Then try to find patents related to that. Okay, you can also do that. Then imagine means coming out with concepts. Okay, develop possible solutions. So this is conceptual design. So this is where you are going to use your human knowledge or human logic or human brain. Okay, so then plan. So plan is an integral part of engineering activity. So you need to schedule, identify the different tasks related to the topic, then plan how you are going to do. So week 1 to week 4 literature review, week 5 to week 6 customer requirements data collection, then week 8 to 9 conceptual design development, then engineering drawings, then weighted index matrix, finding the suitable design. So like that, you need to plan your activities versus time. So what are the activities? One column. Okay, different weeks, week 1 to week 13, one row. Okay, identify how you match your activities with your time. So this is known as Gantt chart. Okay, you need to come out with Gantt charts. for project A and project B. How many of you know Gantt charts? All of you, right? So you need to plan your activities. So then build a prototype. So prototype building is not mandatory for you, but as long as you can come out with the design concepts, then you can simulate and show it is good. Some students, they can also do 3D printing of the concepts, so they can show, that is also okay. Okay. But in some cases where mature students working for over 10 years in the company and they know what they are doing and they have the resources, so they can come out with prototype. So in fact, some of our students, they do prototypes. They do their testing because you have 1 year time. Yes, JLA is. In fact, this student had his prototype and testing. But it doesn't cost much, few $100s. So they do have relations with a lot of contractors or manufacturers. Can get the things done. Then test and evaluate prototype. So if you are not doing prototype, then I'm talking about part A and part B of your project work. So not the RME part. So your RME part ends once you come out with a proposal. Execution is not involved in this course. Only telling what you want to do. Okay, and in a systematic way. You need to show literature review, you need to have research questions, background analysis, action plan. Okay. Alright, so this is another problem. Design and fabrication of an alignment jig for sensor arm contact extensometers. So basically it is a design related problem. So designing a jig or a fixture for extensometers so that you can reduce some of the problems associated with that. Okay, so basically extensometers are used for testing the strain of materials. Okay. Okay. So you can see here the working principle is explained here. Okay. What is the problem? So the misalignment is a problem. If you want to set up the extensometers for taking measurements, so we need to properly align the extensometer. So the alignment takes long time. So a small misalignment can actually gives wrong result. Okay, so there could be errors, incorrect strain values, then risk of damage. Okay. So there are many problems associated with the alignment. So it takes time. So the main objective here is that you come out with a jig or a fixture so that these are the complaints or background analysis. So why this is a potential problem. So number of complaints received. Okay. Then, so analyze why the misalignment comes. So somebody pointed out okay, I don't know who. So you need to study the machine. So we need to study what is the problem related to this and we need to do analysis of that. Okay. So some of the analysis is coming from the feedback. Okay, so this comes from the customers. So here the customers are people who are using the extensometers. The guy is a service engineer who uses this extensometers. So he is associated with that. So therefore he has AutoCAD. Okay, so he wants to design an alignment jig, so that alignment of the extensometers can be faster. Okay, and it increases efficiency and it eliminates process control. Now you can see here none of the objective is quantified. Okay, so this is a a mistake, but the work done and the results achieved ultimately, when you write your report, so these things are not taken into consideration. So we look into the application of knowledge, the results achieved, the amount of time and the effort put by the student. Okay, otherwise you need to quantify every objective to be precise. So methodology applied. So basically this is a design problem. So the design methodology is applied. So problem definition, literature review, customer requirements. Okay, customer requirement is an important aspect of any product design. We don't design things just because we like it. So there must be a requirement for a product. So how do you know the requirement? So it comes from the people who are using it. So how do you get that? You must do a survey. Okay, the survey can take several forms. Okay, then based on customer requirements, we transform the customer requirements into technical requirements. Because customers wants everything on earth, it's not possible technically. So we prioritize the customer requirement. So what is the top customer requirement? So we identify in terms of percentages. So what is the number 1 requirement, number 2 requirement, number 3 requirement, like that. Then based on the requirements, then we conceptualize, we come out with designs. So that is where you are going to engineer, you use your engineering knowledge. Okay, so these designs are basically drawings initially. So then we evaluate those designs. Normally I said that you need to come out with 3 designs. So among the 3 designs, we choose the best design. Okay, and for the best design, we come out with complete engineering drawing. So ready for manufacture. So if you send the design to a contractor, then you'll be able to manufacture the prototype. Alright, then finally evaluating the design. So that is a topic. So when you come out with your problem, so try to think on those lines and prepare few slides. Okay, then event. Okay, so because by the time when is your submission date for the first part?
27th February.
So I can only see you on 15th, right? So you have less time. So simultaneously, when I meet you next time, so we'll be talking about literature review, how you can come out with the project proposal. So the first part of the question is what we are discussing now. Okay, so this is another topic here. This is you can see it's a finite element analysis of the ribs and spar structure of an aircraft. So some students, they'll be more interested in using the software, AutoCAD or finite element analysis software. So they can come out with such problems. So what is the main aim? So here basically it is an investigative project. So design 3D of the ribs and spars for the particular aircraft wing, then do the stress analysis. Okay. So design selection, then modeling, then FEA, the finite element analysis, then the analysis of the results and the interpretation. Okay. So here the student identifies for project A, so what are the things planned? Okay. For project B, what are the things planned? Okay, so I was referring to the project plans will be something like this. So identify the different tasks associated with your project work. Let me tell you again. So this type of thing comes only as part of your final proposal. Okay, not for assignment 1 or assignment 2. So this is part of assignment 3. Project proposal. So So this is your assessment, right? So your first part is the research problem, setting the research problem. Second part is literature review. So the third part is research proposal. So the Gantt chart which I just showed you should be part of this research proposal. And let me tell you, when you are doing this research proposal, the research proposal should consist of your research problem, should consist of literature review, and also the action plan and methodology. So that means your first assignment plus your second assignment combined with some additional stuff will give you the assignment 3.
So we can use back.
Yes and no. Yes, the concept. No, you can't cut and paste. You got my point?
What is the concept? Like you say, you can take the concept, right? So we have to come up with a new context for it.
No, because research proposal, when you do literature review, let us say, the focus is entirely on literature review. When you are in research proposal, so you are telling what is your problem, you are telling what are the objectives, what is the background analysis, and also literature review. Then you are giving methodology, then you are giving action plan. All those things are part of research proposal. But when you are using literature review in research proposal, you can't use whatever you have done under research literature review as part of proposal. It doesn't fit well. Because when we say research proposal, not more than 20 pages. Okay, so there is some limit for research proposal. So there is a particular format for research proposal.
Summarize it.
You have to rewrite or summarize to fit in the form of a research proposal. Now, it is something like when you want to go for play, you have a different attire. When you go for a movie, you have a different attire. You go for a wedding, you have a different attire. So, but when you are going for an event, so this event consists of event 1 and event 2 plus additional things. Anyhow, we'll talk a bit more about this later. So don't worry, I'll be able to show you some model examples. Why we came to this portion is, okay, so this Gantt chart or project plan should be part of your research proposal. So, okay. So this is another project work. Any questions?
How many steps does you need to continue?
Okay, so when you plan your research problem, okay, so prepare minimum 4 slides.
Sorry?
4 slides. And what are the 4 slides? So you need to have a title,
professional.
okay, the main problem, okay, objectives, and background analysis. So motivation, why you want to pick up this? So background analysis and objectives.
Hmm?
Problem, the
Sorry?
title, problem,
No, see
objectives,
the Monday
background analysis.
Monday one need to consist of these 4 and give him a reply, see if it's okay.
Yeah,
So then you can
methodology,
continue
you
with
can
what you need to
briefly
do.
write the methodology.
Rough idea lah.
Yeah. So
all those
it's not
things
assumption,
will be
it's just
discussed.
just his comments, yeah.
No, risk analysis is mainly for the proposal. Concept.
One.
Methodology.
briefly, methodology, you can write in 3-4 lines. Guys, any other questions or any other doubts you have? Okay, you can always you can come back to me. So, okay, you know my email, right? So you can send to my Yahoo email. If you
No. This must be separate. It's like Singapore must use the machine pay. Those kind of yeah, that one to the
okay, so you can send to the automatic email or my quick response you can send to this. Okay, if you send to automatic email, the response will be a bit slower. So, there's a reason because I can access automatic email mostly on my phone. So typing and replying will be a bit time consuming. Preferred email. You can also send to automatic email. Preferred one is this.
We got a question. What if halfway through you feel like you want to change topic?
Me.
Like just in general, like after you do assignment one, then you want to change topic. Can you?
Because better not.
Better not. So like that, plan ahead lah. Like literature review, just see whether everything is there.
No, because normally based on my experience, once you communicate your problem one, okay, I can bit visualize whether there is a scope for doing a good literature review or not. Then I'll also look into that whether you will be able to extend this topic part A and part B. Because in the past, actually, for some students, I say this topic can only be done for proposal. If you want to do only for proposal, you can stick to that. But if you want to do this as project A, project B, not possible. Then the students say, okay, I'll just do this, then I'll go for a different topic. It happens only 5 to 10% students. But better to have, plan and take some time in formulating your problem. It is very important that your problem is strong. No, because the problem which you choose should have the scope for you to do a good literature review, where some other also must have been worked on this problem, and there is something for you where you can apply, okay, the tools and techniques. If there is no scope, let us say you are going to do on a machine only, you are the only one person who are going to use the machine, no such thing possible. For example, in one of the problem, the student was planning to transfer manual measurement to auto measurement. So there is very less scope to do a literature review. So that topic is definitely not a HB topic. So straight away it is just a credit or if the student does extremely well in a distinction, definitely no HB. Because there is no scope for literature review. And let me tell you, literature review is the backbone of any academic project work. The current state of knowledge, so you need to know the current state of knowledge. How you know? Only through literature review. So literature review includes the journal articles, the technical papers, and also patents. And also books specialized on the topic. For example, jigs and fixtures. Probably you have not seen any textbook but there are volumes of textbooks written on jigs and fishes. So you can also learn some amount of knowledge, get some amount of knowledge from the books. Online? Any other questions? Okay, so this particular topic, this particular course, if you do submissions, okay, with at least one level are clear, so that means after that you can upload. Okay, so it's unlikely to fail. If somebody failing this unit is rare, but there is no possibility of the same thing for project A and project B. Because R&D is not a very serious one, because you're only coming with a proposal, not execution. So execution involves project A and project B. All right, any questions? So I can show you a number of topics like this, but now you need to react. Mainly because we don't meet regularly, because another 2 sessions only.
So would you upload this on Canvas?
Or not all those things.
Not all, but a
Not
few
all
of
those
those.
things, yeah. But Canvas also has some benefits. But I'll tell you. The main thing is here because the problems are the same.
Yeah. Self-study. Online lecture.